everybody, hold on, we're going to have a bit of fun today, so keep hold of your hats. Now I'm 61 and I'll be 62 soon, but right now I feel 40. And so I'm going to share my top 10 actions that keep me battle ready. I've been coaching athletes for over 30 years. And so this isn't the typical sort of eat your greens advice that you've heard before or what your mum used to tell you. I'm going to go through each one and they're tried and tested. And I'm going to tell you why most people get it wrong. And stay tuned right to the end because I have a controversial, I say controversial because you're probably going to wrinkle your nose at it, but it's a bonus action that most doctors won't tell you about and a lot of athletes will refuse to do. So let's go. Here's my first action, strength training. Now, this is one of my favourites. I've been doing this since I'm 16, I would say. So best part of my life. I do this 2 to 3 times a week, religiously. It's not the same every time, but it is regular strength training. Now here's where most people mess up. They think they need to spend about 90 minutes in the gym doing bodybuilder type routines. 1, that's wrong. 2, it puts them off because they haven't got that much time. So the best way to do it is focus on primal movements. Squats, pushes, pulls, carrying something. Do 30 minutes max. And here's the kicker. Part of the year, like now in the winter, I actually focus on getting bigger muscles, not just toned. Why would I do that as an endurance athlete? Well, because after 50 you lose muscle mass, whether you like it or not. So do something about it. Personally, I'd rather gain muscle weight than gaining fat weight. Right, action number 2 is called brain training. Okay? This is the bit that most people forget about it. Now, you're probably already thinking, Simon, I do crosswords every day. And that's fine, but it's not enough. I think, and evidence will probably show me to be right here, that the brain's the only muscle we don't intentionally challenge. So we use it every day, but not intentionally. So how about learning a new language, or taking dance lessons, or picking up a musical instrument? Why would you do that? Well, because it's not just about staying sharp, it's about hand and eye coordination. You get social contact. And it's about building new neural pathways. Now, I'll be honest with you, I'm terrible at music, but that's probably exactly why I should be doing it, to challenge myself a little bit more. So, right below there's a comments box. Tell me what skill you're avoiding because you think you're too old, or you're not good enough, or it's not for you. Right, here's action 3. It's about sleep. I'm sure you've heard this one before, but here are a few things that I'll repeat, or maybe there'll be something new. It's non-negotiable. You need 7 to 9 hours every night on as many nights as possible. But this is what I've learned. If you can't increase the quantity, then focus on quality. We try to have a pre-sleep routine that's almost religious. No bright lights, no hard training in the evening, and we try to finish our evening meal 3 hours before we turn the lights off. And yes, that sometimes means saying no to late dinners. But you know what? Poor sleep ruins everything else on this list, the other 10. Okay, you've heard me talk about this one a bit before. I've done a couple of podcasts with Jules, the nutritionist. It's about protein. It's a really important part of your diet, and you need to forget everything you've learned about the recommended daily allowances. Firstly, put protein at the heart of all your meals, and then trying to aim for 1.5 to 2 kilograms of body weight every day. That's actually double what the government recommends. Now, why would I suggest that? Well, the RDA was based on sedentary people, just trying to survive. I would imagine that you and me, we want to thrive. So at 80 kilos, I need around 40 to 50 grams per meal. Greek yogurt, peanut butter for breakfast, fish or eggs for lunch, sometimes both, and then some sort of meat or fish for dinner. And yes, I eat 3 eggs almost every day. Because, well, you know what? The cholesterol myth has pretty much been debunked. Right, balance and stability. You're probably thinking I'm a balanced person. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm going to stand on one leg. Have you heard the phrase, you can't fire a cannon from a canoe? Well, if this floor was unstable, I'd be wobbling around a lot more now. So, any action you do, if your core and stabilising muscles are weak, everything else falls apart. So here's a test for you. Stand on one leg. Close your eyes. I'm not going to do that, but try and hold on for 10 seconds. Can you do it? That's a wake-up call. The research shows that people who can do this live longer and they live more independent lives. So try it right now. Let me know in the comments below how you get on. Okay, here's action 6. High intensity training. I know this is counterintuitive. You probably think that as you get older, you should do less of this. Now, if you're doing it already, that's great. Don't give up. But if you're not, then do more high intensity training. I know that the conventional wisdom says slow down after you're 50, but that's wrong. Your VO2 max is declining on average 8 to 10% per decade once you get past 50. Fast twitch muscle fibers are disappearing, which is another reason why you need to lift weights. So you need short bursts of high intensity work, 30 to 60 seconds, all out, and then rest. What preserves your ability to sprint or for a train or get up the stairs without getting breathless will help you to preserve your VO2 max into your 80s. Okay, next up, reduce alcohol. Now, I'm not going to lie, this one is tough, even for me, but reducing your alcohol consumption is just going to be amazing for you because your tolerance drops with age. It has an impact on your sleep negatively and your recovery and your decision making. They all get worse. So I'm not saying you should become a monk, but those 3 glasses of wine that you used to enjoy, nowadays they're probably sabotaging everything else you're trying to achieve. So I've cut back significantly, and the difference in how I feel is undeniable. Okay, this is action number 8. Daily creatine supplementation. And before you say, well, that's for bodybuilders, just listen to what I've got to say. Recent research shows that creatine is incredible for brain health, so back to point 2 or 3 I talked about earlier, especially things like brain fog from poor sleep or if you travel a lot, jet lag. Plus, it helps maintain muscle mass as you age. So there's 2 really good reasons. You need to supplement with 5 to 10 grams every day. It's the most researched supplement out there, and I don't think you'll be able to find a single study which shows any negative effects for healthy people. Okay, I'm really challenging your belief systems now because action number 9 is another controversial one. It's called broken endurance. You may have heard me talking about this on the podcast or on some previous videos. It's basically run and walk intervals, even in races. And I know your ego's screaming, well, that's cheating, but here's the thing. Folks who choose to use a strategic run-walk approach often finish faster than those who run the whole way or shuffle the last 10k. It's about regulating heart rate, core temperature on warm days, maintaining form and being smart about your pacing. So give it a try, and if you have, let me know in the comments how it worked for you. Okay, on to something more serious now, and I don't think this is controversial at all, but worth reminding you about. Take regular health checks, and by regular I mean every year. Get your blood sugar tested, your cholesterol, your prostate checks for men, mammograms for women, bowel cancer. I've had 5 friends, not acquaintances, friends, who've been diagnosed with prostate cancer, which was caught early through routine screening in the last 18 months. Early detection saves lives. So please don't be the person who avoids the doctor because you're too busy or you currently feel fine. All right, at the beginning I promised you a bonus action. So this is number 11. And I think this one might surprise you. I've already mentioned a few that are counterintuitive, and this one is too. It's about what I don't do so much of anymore. I don't do as many long, slow, endless cardio sessions. You know, the 4-hour bike rides or the 2-hour runs or even walking now. Why not? Well, they're not giving me the adaptations I need. Yes, it's important to maintain your mitochondria, but it's more important to keep your VO2 max high. So more quality, less volume. That's the secret. So there you have it. Those are my top 10 actions, plus the bonus. And I'm curious, which one of those surprised you the most? And which one are you going to try? Why don't you let me know? As I said, you can post it in the comments below. And if you'd like the complete system with training plans and the science behind all of this, I've got a podcast series that goes deep on many of the topics that I've talked about there with some high-level experts. You can find the links below. Also, Hit subscribe if this challenged what you thought you knew about staying fit in your 50s and 60s, because I've got more myth-busting content I'd like to share with you. So don't miss that. Make sure you subscribe.